There's always something. Oh, I got... Oh, no. Oh, no. Got duplicate voices. What about that? That... Okay, that's fixed that. Man, hope it's not duplicated for y'all. Everything's messed up. Maybe? Okay, that works. I swear, I, disappear for a week to take care of some stuff out of town, and I come back and none of my stuff works. Wild how that is. Alright, I think we're functional there now. There we go. Okay. Fix this. Fix that. Fix this other thing. You know, just doing it all live. Anyway, welcome in. We're back. Hopefully that works for y'all. We'll see how that goes here. They wait for the game to load up. I was all ready to go on time, and then Windows Update decided it was going to do that thing where it just makes stuff stop working, involving USB for no reason. Fix that. There we go. So stuff just stops working until you actually install the Windows Update, and I don't know why that's the case. But it's been more and more of an issue lately. There we go. So, I want to do interior work to the new ship tonight. That's the primary goal. Purely because need to. A lot of the exterior stuff has been done to the point where not a whole lot else is going to work until we have that worked out. So, that's working. You know, something's completely screwed up. Let me know. If not, we're just gonna pretend everything's working just fine. Hey, that works. Cool. Hey, welcome in. You know, watching live is sometimes a treat. Sometimes you get to watch me screw up and you can't fast it. Alright, so things that I did since last stream. I finished. I'm echoing. God, why am I echoing? Here I am going, hoping that's not happening. And it's happening. Huh. Now that's it. Fix it. That almost did, maybe? What's going on here with my audio router? You know, I'm just going to restart some things here. I don't have any external speakers though. That's the weird thing. So I've got to figure out what broke. So the problem is hang on. That's not right. What about that's I can hear me, but y'all can't. So there's that. Right? No, can y'all hear me right now? No? Maybe not. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, so if you can't hear me now, that doesn't help. What's jacked up in my routing? Everything twice. Everything twice is not good. All right. Let me. About that. Am I still? No. Yeah. No, yeah. What? The echo's gone now. Or is it back? No, it's got. I'm seeing multi-channel. Why am I getting multi-channel? Goofery going on. Still echo. Yeah. Okay. I shouldn't be coming there. Why am I being sent through the main? What broke? Windows, what did you screw up? Yeah, that's why is that being fed? Okay, I see why it's echoing, but I can't figure out what's causing it. Is there an echo right now? There should be an echo right now, because there should only be one audio channel out, and it's the one that's duplicating me. Okay, that's good. And I assume no echo now, but there's no background noise from the game too. Why is that? Why is that broken? I didn't change anything with that. None of that should have changed. Okay, what about? No, still broken. Huh. What feeds into this? I love doing this live, you know? This is always the fun stuff. Okay, so there should still be no echo. But how am I getting the line in on that? Okay, there's no echo, but there's also no game noises or anything else. So why are we getting that? Okay, so this still comes through. That comes through where it needs to be. That comes through where it needs to. If I hadn't turned it off, yes. But for some reason, the mic is being routed back through the game channel as well, and it shouldn't be. And that's the goofy part. So let's... which one of these is which? That shouldn't be input. That broke it entirely. Okay. I don't even know where this got broken, the routing. This is so wild. Something updated in a bad way. Okay, hang on. Let's... The only thing I changed was Windows. So clearly, that must mean Windows broke something. And I just have to find what that is now. Oh, God. You know what? No. We're just going to go goofy, and that's going to be what it is. And if the game sounds get exceptionally loud, I apologize. Let me know, because I have to turn them down in the game. But I've now spent 8 minutes fighting Windows, and I'm not going to do it anymore. There's no echo now, though, or there shouldn't be at least. That's the hope. So anyway, things that changed. I finished mirroring the line of thrusters over to the other side. So we do have thrust in every direction. Sweet, no echo. Cool. We have thrust in every direction, including forwards, because I took the idea I was thinking on about just putting front-facing thrusters in the back and just building like a little nook out for them to thrust forwards, and I put it into play. Made it active. Cool, that still works. But yeah, that's how that goes. We're gonna turn that to that, I guess. And I went ahead and welded up all the heavy armor around the hangar bay here. So that's all done. In the process, I ran out of cobalt to make grids with. So ended up going and... let's see... building out... Yeah. Another mining spot for the cobalt that had been marked before, and had to go through the mountain and do all this stuff. I had to line this up by hand, but you know, we got that now. So there's that. We got some cobalt. Finished getting that. Probably need to get some more cobalt as we go, but we'll see how it goes for now. But I do need to figure out the interior placements. So passageways, camera-related stuff, lights, all that stuff. There's a little bit that I've started with this up here in this, which I do dislike that there's not actually a mirror of these doors that doesn't like flip them upside down, which is slightly upsetting, or that you can't put them vertically, because like with the Oh, where is it? With the sliding hatch doors, you could always, like, flip them up this way and just have them open up, and you couldn't really tell because the floor on these, I mean, it looked pretty much the same, right, versus laying them sideways. You know, if you did them, rolled them over, it didn't make a difference, because on the back side, they were mirrored. But with these round passageways corridor doors, that's not the case. So we got this neat little green light there, but we don't have it on this side, because technically this is the inside. And that bothers me, but I don't know that there's a fix for it. So, anyway, with all this stuff, so this has been partially lit up already. And we definitely need a light here, because good lord. I think because this is a door, we're going to put a light, like a light block, and just bury it in the roof. Because that's probably going to be the best way to do this. I did have to enable like the new settings from the update still for like the inertia tensor stuff. I don't recall if we touched on this last time or not. But I did have to do that because it was necessary. Where's the spotlight? There we go. Because otherwise, stuff just doesn't work. So here we go, we got this. What face do we want to see visible? I think we'll do this one, because that kind of blends into the door a little bit nicely. Turn off the suit light, and now the light shines through the block, and we have light here all the way down without my suit lights on. And we'll just repeat the same process over here. That seems like a good way to do that. And then we'll just mirror this on that side as well. So in the entryway, we do have this gate, which is cool, and that'll block that off, and it has 85,000 integrity. So I mean that's a pretty good chunk of integrity. I'm not too worried about anything coming through. Might still, because I don't want to walk through here, I want to wall this off. Might still go through, and that's the wrong button. Put a wall up in front. Yeah, other than the door issue, they look so nice. I love them. I used to run mods to replicate it. They're so good. The weird mirroring on the door. Like, if you're doing stuff where you don't have, like, symmetric mirroring, I guess you'd never notice. But, like, I am. So, I notice. And I think... So the question becomes, do I put something up here? Or do I build a wall creatively? And I kind of want to build a wall creatively. But also, I think we're going to cut out this reinforced conveyor tube and put in a regular junction here, so that we stop the airflow. Because I'm just sitting here going, I broke it. I can't pull things through. What's wrong? I intentionally broke that. You know, as you do. Let's just go ahead and refill. So it floated space for a little bit there. I just had a thought, like I'm going to open the door and accidentally evacuate the entire place, because I'm not going to realize that this front corridor here is damaged or there's a hole somewhere. So we're just going to fix that way. Then we can put solid blocks here, so I could do something like... Do I have any of those? Do I have any of those blocks here? Maybe I do. No, I don't. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. So we've got like weapon racks, armory blocks, lockers. I kind of want to do at least one locker, because this is the front entryway, and we've also got the regular lockers. I think those are also part of the same block set, aren't they? Yes, they are. Okay. So we could do that, and then I could leave that way. Or the lab freezers. So there's new blocks added with the latest update that came out last week. A week before, whenever that was. And I haven't really used them yet. I don't know that a weapon locker is really needed. think I could mirror it. That wouldn't be a bad idea, guys. Let's see what it looks like. It's not bad. Again, I kind of wish there was a mirror function for these two, but it is what it is. Because the alternative would be putting in... yeah, it's doing another set of lockers here in the corner. But I mean, it's doable. I don't hate it in principle. And it still covers the wall, and we're still looking at I don't want it to respawn. We're still looking at air tightness on the backside, which is the important part. So, but if I do that, was there a suit locker that was not cornered? And I think the answer to that is no. Oh, but I could do a lab freezer there in the middle instead. Yeah, let's do that. But it sticks out. Nope, never mind. Not the same depth. Not the same depth. That's fine. We'll just do multiple sets of lockers. And then in the passageway blocks... there is still the door for the one type. Right? Yeah, here we go. The frame. Does that... yeah, that sticks out too much. Never mind. Never mind. We're not doing that. Alright, so I just need to build up higher. There are no half LCDs. Right? No. But there's corners and rounded pieces. So maybe I do some corner LCDs. Put the text panel here on the hotbar, because text panel is the group leader for this. So we can do something like this. And then I could do something like the light panel and just crank it way down in brightness. So we just take the intensity down to like a 1. Boost the radius up a considerable chunk. Maybe not 15 meters, but 10. And maybe take a little bit of the blue out of it. Not a whole lot, or it gets too yellow for me. But that's actually... I like that. I do like that. And then everything else can be on the top, so I can put like status LCDs here or something. I don't think we have enough programmable blocks that I could do something like auto LCD 2 scripts. But that does give us some options for burying things in here now. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put half blocks so that if something starts running deformation from below, it doesn't shatter this. Close off all my easy access to cargo. No! Oh god. That's what happens when you start building interiorly. Okay. So the original plan was on the outside to feather this back. Now we gotta go down 2 block heights, so I could do something like this. that would catch it. And then again, I could put like a camera here on the front, because there had been some considerations for that, right? Because it hangs off the edge, though. Do I care enough? That's the question. Or do I mount it down here on the chin? I probably should, because that's a half block. And I know people have done like some modded blocks that put them closer to the back, but we're not running those mods. Ooh, so maybe instead, let's just place these here, and then this will be the one oddity that doesn't have a slope there, and then I can put a camera block there. That does recess it back, but it should be usable still. So then I could even change... I could change these blocks. No, I can't, because there's not a block that makes the shape I want in a half block height. Because I want this block shape, but in half block height. And it doesn't exist, so we'd be looking at doing a scoop, which I don't like. No, I don't like that. So you go back to this plane, and we just leave it a hole. That works. Just gonna grab a whole bunch more steel plate. Because then if I do that, then this sets the interior roof shape we can work out of. It's like... I could just drag something across there, but do I want to? Maybe. Because I could always do something like... pull an interior wall block piece and use something for decoration with it. Because, like, there's the pipes. That kind of works. You can see all the way through the angled portion. Yeah, I think I want to do this anyway. So I could do that, and then that just goes to the top, and then this could be flipped, no, because it's got to be that direction because it's on the outside. Yeah, okay. So maybe not. Maybe I don't do that. Maybe I go back to the original interior block I was looking at, instead of doing something fancy with it that way. I could do some pipework pieces. Just do interior wall pieces instead. I kind of like that. Just trying to figure out how I want to set this. And I think the answer is just... oh, hang on. Let's do that instead. Yeah, let's do that. Because then it looks like there's like plug spaces there for those LCDs to connect to. I like that. And we just flip it. And then here is that. And that still gives me space to put stuff up here if I need to, like another light, or... Which I think we'll probably do another light anyway. Like, one of the corner lights. Yeah, I could do the corner light. If I had access to reliable event controllers, it would just be a matter of, you know, like... setting something to detect when the doors are open and changing the light color. See if they have support for that now. But I don't, because those aren't scrapable. Actually, hang on. No, they're not scrapyardable blocks. That's fine. We'll just boop, and we're gonna copy. No, I don't think I can paste this. Can I? I can. Sweet. Oh, that looks so good that way. Does it look like garbage from outside? It might look like for garbage from outside. We'll deal with that when the sun goes to the other side. So like in 20 minutes, we'll have to come back out and take a look at that. God, it feels industrial because of the light tint. I have to change that. I have to change for all of these now. 230. Oh, that's so much better. I like that. Okay, so... we have doors here. We don't necessarily have to vent this space, though, because we'll be able to vent it from... further back. Yes. If I really care, this will close off. This is the other thing that mildly annoys me about it, is because there's not a way to easily mirror that. We're going to have one door in the front, and one door inside back again. Just like we did on the other side, back in the cargo bay. But not a whole lot to do with that. And then in here, there's options for things, because I'd wanted this to be a bulkhead originally. But I'm thinking I might put the stairway here to get up to the next deck up now. Because the plan was to have, like, the command deck here. And I don't want to put the ladders or the stairs in the cargo bay. That's the full completion of my thought. I also don't know if I want there to be front and rear entrances. Like, do I take it back and then run another set of stairs here? Back into the industrial portion. Because I could. But do I want to? Because I could just make that straight stairs down. And then just run passageways back. Yeah, I kind of want to do that. We're going to cut this out so I can see what's what. Yeah. So now we've got that vertical symmetry up and down for that, because this is bulkhead space. I'll go ahead and frame that in. So if I ran corridors and anchored them one block out again, we'd be coming here, which is still this spot. So I could do a stairway down. That's where the hole is. Huh. Oh, this is the other question I had, is do I put a 5th large thruster back here? Because, like, I could. That occupies the space for it. And I have the spare thrusters. I haven't decided yet, though. Let's see. Do we have all the stuff we're supposed to? What do I need to find space for? I need to find space for some batteries. This run is backup. I need to find space for gyros. I need an oxygen tank, but there was... I think I had mentioned maybe just slotting the tank in up here. What's the air tightness on these tanks? None. Sweet! So no. I can't put that in a non-airtight space. There is... Is there a single stretch of space otherwise? I mean, that's technically viable to drop it in. Yeah. I could drop it there instead, because this is all... Like, the refinery's airtight. We just lock it. The refinery's airtight, so we're fine there. So let's... They're 2 blocks long. I could do one here. One up further. What was the 3,700 integrity for these reinforced conveyors, and the tank's integrity is 12,000. So they're technically more durable than these conveyors are. I don't hate that. Yeah, and then I've got to cut an extra one off, so I've got space to move things around with. We need to grab some weld plates. And I think these oxygen tanks are going to be light enough I can move them. Is there enough mass? Ooh, they move a little bit more ponderously than the thrusters did. That's doable. Oh. I got too excitable in movement there. It's fine. Let it come back to a stop. Slide it into place. This is not getting the palmetto bug out for. It's not worth it at all. Cool. Now that that's done, put another weld pad here. We'll put a second tank there as well. Do the same deal. There should be enough oxygen that even if I accidentally vent stuff, there's enough leftovers that I don't have to, like, disable all the vents and, like, run around with tanks only. Because that's the goal here, is I don't want to have to do that. But two large grid oxygen tanks should be enough for that.
Nice and slow. Don't smash anything up. Okay. Cool. Turn power back onto those. We put back in the reinforced conveyor tube. And if I have to, I can cover over that with a panel or a plate or something else later. I kind of like the thought of leaving it exposed, but at the same time, I kind of don't. Also, that's not airtight. So, maybe we just put panels over the top. Yeah, that's something we can do. I need to go recharge my suit power, because it's about out. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, the goal is to have at least one H2O2 gen. I don't think there's one on there yet. But there is... I have spares. So that is part of the process. The intended process, at least. Should have access to a med bay for faster recharge. Alright, weld those up. These don't really have much durability to speak of, but the simple fact that they provide some airtightness is good enough. If we get into a fight, I shouldn't be taking any hits along the dorsal anyway, because ahead of this is going to be the control center. It's a raised bubble, so, you know, that wouldn't be good. Alright, so, man, where do I bring these stairs down? If I bring them out here, I could do a passage that then has more stairs that drop down into here. That would be doable, I suppose. I don't like how there's no stairs with, like, a passage wall around them, or passages with stairs. But without having to, like, go into mods. I feel like that's a critical thing that Keen has just never fixed. We'll just do, like... 4 lights in here. Then if we do... Okay, so we could do an offset to drop them down lower. And just boost the radius up. Doesn't reach quite all the way. Sticks out the outside a little bit, but not enough, I don't think, to care, because there are windows here. So any light that splashes out could just be classified as, oh, it came out the windows. If that works. If it doesn't work, we can make up for it later. Move my mic so it's somewhat reasonable. There we go. This isn't terrible. I will probably still need some type of central light. But that's not atrocious. Yeah, I don't hate that. It's like we get a little bit of neat lighting in through the windows, but even without it, it's not really necessary. Because of that. We could push it further. We could take the radius up to like 10 meters. That covers most of the way. That's a little bit more obvious of the doors, though. So I guess the question is... Alright, let's try moving one of these here instead. What does that look like? We bring it down one, we bring it in one. We still have coverage to the center of the floor. I could pull the offset back some, though. Which I kind of like a little bit better. Yeah, let's do this instead. Because I like that more. I'm not going to talk about how long it took to hand weld all this heavy armor. And pretend it didn't take forever. Alright, I like that better. And it's not going to bleed as hard into the zone above. It's just a wasp in the distance. Yeah, so the Willis ducks have ramps, but they don't, like, change vertical levels. It's just going up or down a half block within the same block space. And there is a mod that adds, like, actual traversals with them. But... again, we're getting into, like, this should really be a baseline thing Keen provides. And they don't. And so I'm going to complain about it.
Inventory full.
Alright, so we go back to the doors. Also the lab doors. But I like the round corridor doors. I hadn't thought about these. Maybe we'll use these somewhere else. But I do want to do the corridor doors. Which, need this? Yeah. Yeah. And then we flip it over because we have to. Space is starting to get kind of busy again around us. You can see there's some stuff did crash. I guess the sun is illuminated now. There's a couple of wrecks down there that weren't there before that crashed because they drifted too close to the planet. So we come down here. I could... So we change up this pipe. We change this pipe up and we make that a reinforced conveyor tube here. That gives us a solid wall. The problem is this still has no air tightness anywhere but at the conveyor ports. So as long as I make sure that this is completely airtight outside of this little zone it's in, it won't be an issue. It opens sideways, so it shouldn't be an issue. So there's going to be solid blocks there anyway as part of the external hull. These floor blocks are going to be solid. if this is properly solid as well, that's effectively closed in. That's airtight for that compartment space. Ooh, I like that. Can we maintain? Oh man, yeah, no, that works. Yeah, because it's consistent for each side. So it's intended to be a one-way loop for traffic flow to prevent traffic jams. I like that. Port goes back, starboard goes forwards. Okay, yeah. Was it the marked floors? What's the new floor that came out? Fieldwork. Is there one with an arrow marking on it? I don't recall. Purely passing over it here in the quick menu. And obviously the Scrapyard block restrictions mod hasn't been updated yet. Because like some of these we can still make. Here. Stuck the wrong thing there. That's fine. Ah, here we go. Floor. Is there one of these that has an arrow as a decal? I don't think there is. No, because then there's a slab. Huh. It's like, 'cause we can just put arrows on the floor and be done with it. But that's okay. No, I like that thought line, though. It also technically keeps me from getting disoriented on whether I'm on port or starboard to run further forwards or backwards, right? Because if the doors are always consistent, that provides a way to maneuver. Okay. Now that works. Okay, so then from up top, I could run a stairwell down and then come back to the passageway blocks. Because I want the round T here. And there's a, I can do an opening with the stairs. And then just go back to like regular round. See, how did I do these over here? Was it a one on, one off? Oh no. Covered too many things in. Light, off, no light, light, no light, okay. So, we've got nothing here, we'll have a light here. We'll do another... Let's see. Then do I want to have it... I don't think I want to... No, we will. We'll do a T here. Because this was a round, right? It is a round. So I think I will do a light and then a T. And then a light. And we'll just put like a door block here. Then there's this. Care about that space? No. And then we do the round here. And that goes back. So that gets us to the reactor section. And we can block this in with some neat wall stuff. And that gets us covered to there. And then... Is that too claustrophobic for putting a full block door piece in there then? And I think the answer to that is yes. I think the answer to that question is yes. But it does get us to the reactor set. Not to all of them though, so we're gonna, yeah, no. We're gonna get rid of that. So I want to be able to get to all the reactors. So we'll just do something like, this could be a good spot for that lab door. Yeah, that could be a good spot for the lab door. Nope, that doesn't work, because that's a half door. Never mind. I'm goofy. That was staring at me in the face the entire time. We could just do an edge door. Just a regular offset door, then. How does that look coming from the other side, though? Ooh. That... I don't know that I like that. Is there a better door option I have? I don't know that there is. Because that's the problem. I could do... like, the regular sliding door can be done. Right? Because then we're looking at... Keen. But then that again blocks off access to the entire thing. So maybe we just don't have a door at all. Maybe we don't have doors back here. Maybe the doors are like somewhere at the midpoint. Okay, hang on. That's a corridor around, not a light. So I could put a door there. And now we still got the corridor door. Corridor door. Yeah. And now we still got the circle. But I can come over here and do the same thing back. Thought I double tapped that to pick up components, but apparently I didn't. And now this section back here is isolated from everything else. Then if I wanted to, I could put a vent here. I don't think I want to, but I could. That is airtight, though. So, as far as vent spaces go, we need a vent for the command center. We need a vent for the forward zone here. We don't need one here, because that's going to be provided elsewhere, and I don't think I have a full block air vent anywhere. If I had a full block air vent, that would be different. I could replace one of those conveyors on the floor with one. But I'm pretty sure all of the air blocks I've got are half block. So that's all thrusters. They're all halves. Right? Yeah, because that's all cargo containers. Okay. So I don't have an available full block event. They just don't exist that I've found so far. They might exist on some other wreck I've not found yet. But for right now, I don't have access to them. That's the important parts. So if I come across one, I'll replace one of the floor connectors up there. But I could put a vent back here in the back, and we got 1, 2, possibly 3, depending on speed. 4. could make the command center part of the front one. I think I like that thought. So I definitely got enough vents for that. That does mean back here, something should change. Perhaps this gets replaced with a regular conveyor. Can't take blocks from there, I just disconnected it. I will never not make that mistake. Break a conveyor line and then immediately try to pulse, parts from the wrong side. So there's that. That gives me an option there. I could do... I don't think there's any goofy greeblies I want to do here. Because this is still at the end of the day the walking path. The issue is still going to be airtightness, so maybe it's just the front face of these. Oh, none of this is airtight. Oh, why is the conveyor face not airtight on these reactors? Okay, so this whole thing then is a vent to space. Ah, shit. I could fix that by offsetting this fifth thruster out one block. And then I would just have to box that tank. Because if they were airtight on the conveyor face, I would just put like a 1x1 window and be done with it. Okay. So plan B. We had, let's see, what was the corridor light, right? This has been, yeah. Front to the front. I'll grab a quick copy paste one of those. I'll just come back here and start pasting this in. I apologize for the early yawns. We're not that far into stream, but it has been an exhausting week. I didn't stream last week because I had an unplanned, rapid 3,000-mile car trip to take care of some personal stuff, and I'm still not fully recovered yet sleep-wise from that. So that was 3,000 miles and 8.5 hours of sleep across 4 days. And I am no longer as young as I once was. Recovery of sleep debt takes me a little bit longer nowadays. I can still do it, but also I have to pay extra interest on those credit payments at that point when I do that and borrow against my sleep. Anybody over the age of 30 is going to understand that one. Ah, crap. Fly, you fool! It's actually not that bad. I had far worse a couple times. With available distance from a recharge spot. we're going to get these in, get these passageways in, and then I can figure out where the stairs are going to go, like actually build them in. And then that's going to help inform the shape of the command deck. And I still want to have, I think, like, small quarters here is the way I'm going to do that. And actually, do I need this here? I do, because that's what the... Right? We got... What's down there? Thrusters, right? That's the front thruster bank? Yes. Okay, so I can't get rid of that. But I can build around it. Okay. Back to this. Did I get them all? No, I didn't get them all, did I? No. Right? Maybe I did. No, I didn't. Okay. There we go. Don't let me turn on my jetpack. Alright, so we have this secondary corridor. And again, starboard goes rear, port goes forwards. So we'll have this. This will be where the stairs come down. I'm not quite sure how I want to do that yet. Do I have stairs on my hotbar? I do not. Well, you have some modded stairs, because I wanted additional stairs for, like, ground building. So we could do something like same space. Like flip backs. You're gonna go stairs. Does left versus right matter? I don't think so. I could also do steep corners, so I think the steep ones are what I'm going to want, because that allows me to do... Yeah, I could do something like that. Drop it into the center point. And no, because it only gets me to there. Okay. No, so I need a 2-block white space either way. Okay, so I could do it, but I gotta remove this to do so.
Inventory full.
Messed up. Parts floating everywhere. Okay, so I could do it still this way, and I would just, like, get rid of that. And do, like, a... thing like that. Okay, so now we've resealed that back off again. Now I've got the space to do the stairs. So I could do something like this. That. Those have the one exit off the command deck. Here. Oh god, I'm gonna have to... that's gonna cause problems when I go down though. Okay, maybe the stairs idea isn't bad. Maybe it's a bad idea. Maybe I did it bad. Oh, but I could do... Hang on, I've got this. I could come over one more. is still going to be steep, so it's not going to match. So we come down one, we go up and turn. This is a... You know what? Maybe we'll just do ladders there. Maybe we'll just do a ladder shaft. You know, like... Maybe we just do a good old ladder shaft. And that opens up into this. What does that look like here? What horrifying garbage does that look like? You know, it's actually not that bad. Because this does look like it has, like, a doorway, even though it doesn't. So that doesn't look terrible. Okay, I think that's a solution. It may not be a Jeffries tube, but it's damn close, and I'll take that. Let's grab our parts. Go build stuff. But that still keeps the two sides separate. Put that block back, that connector back, for redundancy. I said, hey, I'm going to do some ladders at some point. I just didn't. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I just leave it there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I come over here and I go... doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I go all the way down. Floating because I have no gravity generator on yet, but that'd be fine. Yes, that works. And then if I need to get to the stuff back here in the engineering section, manufacturing section, we'll have this spot here. We got this door back here that will stay closed to get us to the reactor room. So you gotta keep that separated. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And then we're doing a light, a straight, a curve. Oh, okay. Let's see, a light, a straight, curve. Since that's a light, that means this has to be a light. Straight, a light, a straight, a light, a straight. No, not a straight. A T. A T. And then a light, and then a straight, and then a light, and then a straight, and then a light, and then another T. Okay. And then we go back to ladders. Okay. And then we're at the door. Yes. Just do a control page down to paste the settings as we get to each light block, because we don't actually have to, we're still on our clipboard, so we can still paste those settings back. Oh no. There we go. Nope, I messed it up again. I think the next thing I'm going to do is going to move a spare gravity generator over. Surely I've got one of those, right? Okay. And I greed weld this before I run out of energy. No. The answer is no. That's fine though. Okay, so I'm liking that. I need to get another large hydrogen thruster to bring it to the back to lock it in place. But I need to offset it one block so there's enough space to air seal that tank. Which I suppose should probably be done anyway just for safety's sake, just so nothing like hits one of those thrusters and ricochets in. So that's doable. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Alright, let's do all this. So let me figure out where from here, figure out where the gravity generator is going to go. Because the middle of the ship, which is where I would normally be like, yeah, let's just stick in the middle. That's a cargo bay. Can't really do that. You know, behind the ladder would be a good spot if I had another way around to it. I haven't decided yet. Oh, that was a bit much. I think I might stick it in like the front portion, in like the living area. I don't really have like an actual legit med bay, but that could be close. At least that's what I'm saying in my mind. But at least now the major hallways of the ship are worked out. And that's the important part. Because everything from here is just... Did I seriously grab the one? No. I got the others, right? Yeah, okay. Everything else is just filling in at this point. Like, major passageways all the way back are handled. Vent placement zones is handled. Center of mass is just behind the cargo bay for now. It'll shift a little bit. I don't know if it's going to meaningfully shift though. So actually maybe we don't have to put... Maybe that's where I put the gravity gen. Behind the ladder. Because we're not going to add too much more weight to the front. That's not also... Because like the front... The bottom 2/3 of the front are already shelled. We've got all the critical components up here. If I put in any gyros, there's going to be an equal number towards the back. So that's not really like a weight thing. We've got our tanks in place. We've got the jump drive. We've got our reactors. Those are the big things. There's another large thruster that's going to go back there, so that's going to pull it a tiny bit. But even the cargo is almost dead center of the ship by sheer serendipity. Whatever small grid shuttle gets built will go there, and it'll pull a little bit, but not enough to matter. So maybe this is where... Ooh, maybe it's so... This is going to be a bitch to get into place. Okay, maybe we cut the wall out of the cargo bay and I slide it in from behind. Maybe that's what we do.
Inventory full.
Yeah, I think that's what we do. just cut a big chunk of this wall out.
Inventory full.
And back off center mass.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Man, I hope I have a normal gravity gen and not just like only circular ones, because that's going to be annoying. Alright, so we have this stuff. Let's put... Let's put a heavy armor block there. And that'll be the base that it sits on. Because that should be the vertical center of the ship. Or close enough to it. It would. But I don't want to fight putting a battery into there. I guess I could. So what's on the bottom side? So just the one armor, please? I could do that. No, because fitting a battery in there is going to be a giant pain in the ass trying to slide it in to a single block space. So if I did that, we would have to do more cutting. That would include the doors again. And that's no, we're just going to leave this as a heavy armor block. Might put one above it, though. Because I can cut ladders out and that would be an issue. So let's get some weld pads. And let's go grab a spare battery. Do I have any over here? No, I think they're all underneath down here getting charged. Yes, they are. All the orange ones are ones that are designed to be reused. We're going to pull this over. And we'll put this on top of the gravity generator. In that upper block spot. Which technically does make sense, because right there we're still going to have part of the command deck above it. So it will be slightly offset vertically for safety purposes. Lock that there. Where is... See, this is just a regular gravity gen, right? It's not a spherical one. Let's do a reset name. Cool, just a regular gravity gen. It's chunky, but it's movable. We've got 4 reactors on this thing, so keeping it powered won't be a problem. Really, the big concern about batteries is just that we have something to hold on to, you know, just to help recharge the jump drives. Life support systems may fail. You know, I'm going to complain. The refill station, right? The new Keen added block with field work that lets you just recharge your suit and refill your gases, right? Requires superconductors. And I don't understand how in a regular game, even not doing like a Scrapyard playthrough, how that makes sense, because it can't be tied to a specific owner or faction. Anybody can use it, and it does 2 things. It recharges your batteries, and it recharges your suit gases, and that's it. You can't use it for anything else. You can't respawn at it, anything like that. But it requires superconductors. Why, if that requires superconductors, does the survival kit, which respawns you and also manufactures things, not require them? I don't understand the point of the balance thing with that. Alright. That is forwards. We're just going to lock this. that I can keep seeing those markers on my face, because I'm bad at remembering otherwise. Stop it. There we go. Can I force this in without having to cut away a ladder? I don't think I can. Oh! That was one of the blocks they changed the collision box size on then. That's cool. Come on. There we go. Alright, gravity generator working. So we're going to show that. Show gravity range. And we're just going to zoom way out here. Turn on our antenna. This one. Toggle it on. And we're just going to start shrinking measurements. So that's the front of the connector. I'm going to crank that there, and we'll just drag this in. Does this cover enough? Because we don't need it to cover all of that. It goes back all the way to there. It covers out to the sides well enough. It covers to the bay doors. It goes up high enough it'll cover the command center. I can actually shrink the height a tiny bit. $120 kilowatts. That's not that bad. Yeah, okay. Whoop. Oh no, it's got negative gravity, doesn't it? It does, -1 Gs. We want it to have like a quarter G. That's way better. Anyway. Alright. I like this though. So, how far out does this go? This goes to, oh god. It goes just past the connector, which is what I want. So I want it to let us easily move on to whatever we're attaching to without just like hitting this and bumping off into space. I don't want intensity 5 for this, do I? Those are also 5s. Maybe we'll change that later, because that seems a tad bright now. We have that. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this battery in here. So let's turn off show on HUD. Let's see if I can get this pulled in. I don't think batteries can slide in. I think I'm going to have to cut at least one ladder out. Stop. There we go. Yeah, it's not going to let me because it's binding. That's fine. We'll cut off the ladder shaft, and we will... slap that there. Slap that there. Just slide it on back.
Inventory full.
Got a second ladder shaft out. Bye-bye components. Cool, that's welded in place. Now we put the ladder shaft back. Need to go get those components that I dropped. Did they make it all the way down? No? Yes, maybe? Oh, yep, they're there. A wasp out in the distance. That Valley Crucis has not gotten any closer though, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so anyway, here's that. I put those in backwards. Okay, and we can put these pieces back in again. So I need... See, how did I do this? This was reinforced conveyor tubes, just turned sideways. Okay. Okay. Hanger's back together again. I don't have to use my jetpack to stay on the ground. I can jump and fall back down. Oh, lights. So I'm going to copy this. Oh, that works. Okay. Gotta do floor stuff over here, because we don't have a floor yet. But that works. And that comes up and touches those and feeds those, which come off of the back there. And we do this. Which I don't have to do that. I could do half blocks instead. I mean, I guess I could technically do plates, but I don't want to do plates. Why don't I want to do plates? Because I decided I didn't want to do plates. There's literally zero reason to not do them. So, that's done. We need to interior corridor the manufacturing zone. I need to finish up the back end. Let's go back up here to the front in the meanwhile. So up here, the original goal was to make this a bulkhead. But maybe I don't. Maybe I pull it forwards one block instead. Instead of using pipes, we just use regular conveyors. So it'll give me 4 blocks to work with instead of 3. And I think I like that better. I know I had wanted like a block in between for bulking, but we didn't on the front. So I guess it's not that big a deal here in the back either. Like nothing is measured out that, you know, it can't be changed for this. So I'll do this into that. We just do the regular light armor here. So actually, before I do that, why did I put a half armor block here again? I don't recall. Oh, right, so I was going to stick stuff there. That's right. I wonder if I could get 3 gyros or 4 gyros into that. We're going to do 2 gyros and 2 batteries. Yeah, because it'd be 4 and 4, and then I've got space in the back to do that too. So let's grab some weld pads. Let's go sit in a cockpit to recharge our power real quick. Alright, let's do the batteries first. So they're going to go towards the back. One. This is on auto. Then I'm going to cut that out. That's fine. We'll wait until I get the battery over here to do that. Maybe we'll get lucky. Or maybe I put the batteries on the inside and the gyros on the outside instead of front to back. I like that idea better. Haha. Now, whether this works or not, or I have to go get the palmetto to shove this thing in, that's a different story. We'll find out. I feel like we'd have to do that.
That's not moving. There we go. You get the grunt of impact. No, I'm not rotating those so they line up. Not happening. Now can I get a gyro to do the same thing? Let's grab one of these gyros. No override set. They're all 0. Full power. These are super heavy. This is a tad ponderous. That's fine. Alright, so ease this up carefully. If I'm lucky, this will be one of the blocks that they more closely fit the collision box to the model with, and so I'll be able to slide it in without having to cut pieces off the ship. If I'm not lucky, that will not be the case, and I'll have to cut pieces off the ship. But that potential is exactly why I didn't stop. Is exactly why I didn't want to finish out the rest of the hull without. So wobbly. So weebly. Actually, hang on. Let's pull this back a second. Just gonna put fake blocks there, and then I can just shove it into those and then slide down, yeah? Maybe? Oh, yes. Oh, they did fix it. Thank you, Keen. Might have gotten it stuck. There we go. Didn't get it stuck. Shit. Is that aligned right? Yeah, the panel goes forwards. Okay. I just had a moment of panic. It's like, oh no, did I do that wrong? And I'll throw that there so that I can take another one and do the exact same thing. And we'll grab this one. That just popped free. Oh, because the block it was sitting on was... Man, that was dangerous. I almost blew this thing up. Come on, Goose. You know better than to cut something free when it's sitting on a deformed block. That's a great way to get it to just explode. On the bright side, YouTube has not once complained about bit rates, frame rates, or latency. And I don't know why, because I've changed nothing. And looking back through like previous times it's complained, it complains, but I don't see any frame rate hitches or losses on replay. So I think YouTube was drunk. There we go. Alright. We got power. Override off. There we go. Give them a nice coated gray primer. We'll repaint it all later. But there's that. And then I could do a second row of batteries here if I wanted to. Or I could do a second row of gyros. What are we sitting at right now for mass? 1.5 million kilos. Yeah, maybe we will. Because yeah, these are 12 tons apiece, but we're already at 1,500 tons, And adding an extra 48 tons on top of 1,500 doesn't really matter. Yeah. Literally, I need the gyro authority more than I need the battery authority. We're gonna weld this so I don't accidentally blow it up. Look, that's fine. When somebody eventually finds this thing and they scrap it themselves, and those are the blocks that are left, they'll go, what was going on here? None of this is aligned. It's all twisted. Was there a reason? Did they just screw up? And it'll bother them. And they'll never know. And they'll make guesses, but they'll never know for sure. And that makes it worth it. Okay, let's... Alright, and then we need to... Nope, not that direction. Now I need to spin you. There we go. So you're facing the front. Suit energy's low. Man, the eternal cold of space really chews through your batteries on your suit. I'm kind of hoping that Keen adds a way to either expand or improve on suit power capacity or suit power efficiency with the next update they're working on that adds like survival mechanics, optional survival mechanics. Alright, there's that one. I did that backwards. I should have done it the other way, whatever. I can slide it in before, we can do it again. At least this one's aligned the right way. See, even on this salvage ship, they were misaligned. And they were gyros. When I started this Scrapyard playthrough, I was like, I'm going to make sure everything is set in the right direction so I don't have to cut it apart because I can't rebuild it. And then, like, halfway through, I'm like, nah, I'm done, fam. If it's misaligned, it's misaligned. No one cares. Something, something. Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box. Something, something. Nope. Get back. There we go. Alright, so that gives us 4 on this side. If I replicate that over here, that gives us 8 in the front. Which is a little under half of what I'd like. Oh, right, exactly. They have so much metal and plastic in them. Was the microplastic problems of the 20th and 21st centuries really so bad that it just resulted in all these plastic deposits everywhere? Oh, that's exactly how it's gonna go. That's exactly how it's gonna go. Alright, so back here, I can put gyros there. And then I could do a row of blocks. And I could do it. No, I don't want to do a second set, but I could do that. And just be done with that portion. And then I could run. Ooh, or I could throw the gyros here. Yeah, let's do that instead. I like that idea. I'm going to throw the gyros on top of this passage. So that gives us 20 gyros total.
What if there was, like, a tether cord you could attach to your suit and then to the grid you're working on and just continuously have it kept power going that way, like a giant floating extension cord? I'd like that. Alright, so there's 20 gyros. That should be enough. If not, if I don't like the way it feels, we can throw some more back here somewhere. It'll give options. Let's see, how do I want to do this? We're going to steal them from here. Like, I'm not saying, like, hey, it necessarily has to, like, provide, you know, oxygen and hydrogen refueling. Maybe, like, an upgrade to that could, right? Like a special module. But I feel like if I could just have a damn power tether, it'd be kind of nice, right? Like, maybe not from the start. Maybe it requires a block on the grid for that. Maybe it requires something kind of like the tethers mod, where there's like a physical tether station you plug into. Right? Like there's some workaround ability there, but just like tether me to the grid so I'm constantly getting my power reset, please. So I feel like this is one of those things where like there'd be like a quick disconnect, right? So like it'd be like a glad hand, you know, for like airlines on a truck, or like if it didn't do gas exchange, it was just power only, it'd be like a magnetic power clip. So like if the grid moves off or you move, you know, too far away from it or something like that, it pulls free, it just pops free. That's how I'm imagining that in my head. The problem is like the tethers mod for grid tethering works by operating like a fake connector, so the grids are joined together, right? So like as long as one's connected to the other, you've got full visibility of like all the blocks. It's just like you used a connector to attach them, which is how it does its thing. Which is why it caused a conflict with the one shield mod in the Ares at War playthrough. It was because it was trying to calculate multiple grids for the shields and just shutting them off. Getting dragged through space. What was the which? You only live twice? Was that the Bond one where they had... Yeah, you only live twice. It had the spaceship with the opening stuff, and it captured and recovered stuff, and it cut the dude is out spacewalking, and it cut his hose, and he's drifted off. Yeah, that's how I'm imagining that. Like, I feel like that could have some opportunities for more humor. As if somebody accidentally clipped off the tether and somebody just floated away. And when I have to start pulling gyros from the other side of the ship, or like the other side of the station over there, it's going to be so painful. I'm going to have to use the Palmetto for that. Because these things are heavy. More than 12 tons apiece. Like, these short distances, not that big a deal, but when I've just got to start slow boating at half a meter through space, yeah, no. That said, this is going rather smoothly. I expected more problems. Let's see, there's a vent. There's a couple vents I need to pull off this still. And then these need to be cut free. I'm just going to cut these two so I can finish this size. This side. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do one side at a time, and then in between, I may not succeed, but in between streams I may try and mirror this over to the other side for moving these blocks around, so I'm not just spending like 3 hours on screen slowly dragging blocks once it's been done once. Because y'all know what that looks like by then. One more. And then we've got 10 on the port side. And I think I need to change the conveyor that runs across the roof of the cargo bay, because it needs to have, I think, some T-blocks instead of just the straight conveyors, because that way I can attach the fence to the roof. I think that's going to be the best way to do that, rather than into the wall. So I was sitting here thinking, if I wanted to do the vents like plug it in between the lights, just put it like right there. But I think I might want to do it hanging from the walls instead, which would put it here-ish. Yeah. Well, that is the hope. Like we've got some mass to us. Doing the same thing again. Doing it again. It's got some mass to it, but I don't want it to be like super zippy. But I also don't want it to feel like I'm pulling teeth just to spin around. If that makes sense. Then that keeps it out of the way enough that it shouldn't get in the way of any shuttle I bring in here and land. I still don't know how I'm gonna attach the shuttles. I think if I go with ions only, it won't be that big of a deal, because I can... Yeah. It won't be that big of a deal, but I can still run like a tether instead and just use landing gear. Oh, you're going to be cute asking for treats. Okay. That was so mad. I went on that trip. He was just cross. Like, my wife was still here. My wife, my kid took care of him. But he was cross on principle. And then, yeah, exactly. I can always turn down the gyros if they're too fast. I guess, right now this is empty. And I don't want to have to worry about it's just barely functional enough until I put cargo on it. Or a shuttle. You know, I just don't want to deal with that. Plus, there's still going to be large panels of heavy armor that like enclose like wings around the sides, right? So like we're still going to be a tad sluggish, but we should be functional, at least. That's my goal. And then when we're inside here in the maintenance tunnels, you know, we step out of our port here into the maintenance tunnels, and we're like do working with stuff. We can see the gyros over there. I think that'll look. I need to recharge again. Seems like every time I turn around, I'm having to recharge. So bed, couch, kitchen, survival kit, bathroom, shower. It's not too many blocks. I think that's doable within their front face. But the question is, how do I split it? Do I do a half stair or a full stair? I think the answer is a full stair. I can always change this up later. I don't have anywhere with cargo access here. That's fine. All those cargo access points I put into here as I've been building this ship out, they've been getting used for things. Which, I mean, is kind of the point, but also... Oh. Alright, that's the wrong button. So if I do... We've got conveyor tubes here. That's all T-junctions because of the thrusters. I think this becomes a regular junction. It gives me a spot to attach the survival kit to. I know I've got a spare one, the question is where. Oh, I've also got the cryo beds, that's right. Where is the spare survival kit? I know I have one. Don't I? Pretty sure I do. Pretty sure the plan was not steal one from one of the existing ships to reuse. Laser antenna, a whole bunch of tanks, store block. No, I want another spare survival kit. Maybe I don't. I would have swore that I did. It's probably stuck somewhere stupid that I'm like, I'm going to put this here to keep it safe so I don't lose it. And then I've completely forgot that I've done that and I misplaced it. That's all thrusters. That's a beacon. That's cryo chambers. That's small grid stuff. More thrusters. Oxygen tank. Bunch of vents and cargo containers. Look, I've got one here in the Phoenix, and I've got one on the station. But I'd rather not steal from either of those to do it. And I would have swore I had one. Maybe you got damaged or destroyed? Maybe it was accidentally ground up during salvaging?
do need to take the rest of the pieces off this. It might be buried in here somewhere, in which case it'll become obvious. No, I appreciate it, honey. I am good. So I thought I had one. I swear I've got one. Maybe I'll find it while cleaning up. Maybe I'll have to go hunt for one. I'm going to have to go hunt for one. Because I didn't put it in here. That's a cryo. It's a seat. And then down here... This is not being used for anything, so I can steal this. That one is... Huh. And then this is the one for here, on the station. I might not have. I thought I did. I was like, oh yeah, I've got to spare one of these, so I don't need to keep this, or I don't need to look for one. Like, I know several wrecks that should have one. And I'm pretty sure I've got some spare medical components. Let's check, do I have spare medical components? Medical. That's not the right thing to be searching at. Yeah, I've got spare medical components. So worst case, I'll find... the survival kit on that is probably intact. In the station. Yeah, I thought I had a third. Maybe I thought I did, and so I ground it down for the components. That's a possibility. But the top half of that is intact, so I'm willing to bet the... Let's see, it should be there-ish in the center. I'm willing to bet the survival kit there is intact. I just need to go snipe out the weapons and retrieve it. Because they come partially built, but I've got enough spare components, I'm not worried about it then. So that's something to do. I will do that in between. So one side is sleep, one side is meds. So if I put like one of the cryopods here, and then do like bed, couch, seating area, and then over here we got survival kit, and then like bath stuff. I think I like that. It's gonna be sideways, or I put a tube. So yeah, here we go. We'll do a regular conveyor tube here, and that'll be where I shove the survival kit here. Nope, not that. There we go. I'll shove the survival kit here. And then the cryo chamber can just back up into this. Yeah, okay. And then again we go with like lockers or something. I could do the science stuff. I could do science things just to use the blocks. Like that. I haven't gotten to use these yet, as you can tell. What are these tubes called? Experiments. Hector components, that's interesting. These require super components, so I'm not building them. That's kind of neat looking.
There's this. It's got the tubes. What does this look like when built? That's a lot of bulletproof glass. Good lord. Okay, so we do get water in it. That's cool. Is there a way to set... like just light controls. Yeah, it's just the light controls, so we can do light stuff with it. That is kind of cool, though. I think somebody went through and has a mod that makes this function like a cryo chamber or something like that. Or they were trying to. Here's the question. If we turn off the gravity gen, do the bubbles still go up? Or does it change the animation? Nope, just look at the same way. Okay. Well, now we know. That was cool, but I don't think I have a use for that particular one. But, what was it? Lab freezer. So what other lab blocks are there? There's the freezers. There's the experiment blocks. There's the vat. Oh, that's what there's a new... So we're not going to use this because H2O2 gens are normally restricted in Scrapyard. It's just the restrictions mod hasn't been updated to block this out yet. Same thing with the tanks. And there's the freezer block. Oh, there's the cabinet. The sink. Desk. So let's see if there's any neat stuff with these. So the lab desk has test tubes and an analyzer. I know it's got shelves. Okay. And the sink is just a sink with also tie downs for things. The cabinet is a cabinet. It does cabinety things. That is kind of cool, though. And we got this. This is the one. This is the one that they set up to be a cryopod. That's what it was. Or maybe it is a cryopod. No, it's not a cryopod by default. But it does have conveyors. I did find that somebody went through and they made a mod where respawns require clones to be grown on a per cryo tube basis, and then you have to maintain them with additional materials, which is something I'd been looking for when I was doing the Areas of Ore, but it came out like as that series ended. And I really like that. Oh! It is! Okay, well we can't use this, unfortunately, though. That's unfortunate. Let's see, let's... I'm lost. There we go. Oh man, that's so cool though. Maybe we use this and I delete one of the cryopods. Yeah, maybe that's what we do. So if... Yeah, because this does require metal components. I missed that the first time. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to
Grind that away. We're going to go take one of these cryopods over here. I'm going to grind it off to recover the pieces. So we're neutral on parts. And then I will make the experiment tube. And we will call that even. Just because I think that tube is super cool. So I overshot my lab spot. That's just a really cool block. I like that. Okay, so we're neutral for parts. We are neutral for block exchange. And we're right side up. You can't see me move my head when I look around. That's amusing though. Alright, I really like that. I really like that. Okay. So there's that. And then I guess this becomes the rest of the various lab kit then. So we've got the cabinet, the sink. I kind of want to do the sink here. But I could do the cabinet instead and then do like shower and toilet off to the side. And it's got some storage in it. So that's cool. I like that. That's neat. And then survival kit. Bed. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm liking this. So that was a good chunk of stuff, actually. What is left for interior critical pieces? Nothing, just moving in stuff. So I need to relocate another 10 gyros and 2 batteries to the starboard side. I need to relocate another, I don't know what, 6, however many extra spare batteries I've got. I need to relocate back here somewhere too. Maybe I'll stick them. Maybe I'll put them here instead as the bulkhead interface wall. Just do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more batteries there. I like that thought. I gotta relocate that thruster. But that is where we're going to end things, wrap them up for tonight here, because I'm tired. I'm fading. So, I really like that tube. This is such a cool tube. I've got to figure out how to like either cap or decorate the top of that so that it's not just open conveyor ports. But there's some stuff we can do decoration-wise. Maybe we'll use one of the other lab experiment, like the big tube. No, because it doesn't have any connector ports. I don't know. I'll think about it, and then we'll play around with some next week. Plan is next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, hopefully, and we'll pick up where we left off here and continue on. I think it's just about time to start working on setting the basis for the exterior hull skin and figuring out where those heavy armor shield wings are going to sit, because that's also going to include where our weapon emplacements go. That's the thing that needs to happen for defense, and then the command center, and I think we're just about done. A couple minor pieces of
equipment still, like an H2O2 gen. But, oh, actually, you know, we have spare O2 H2 gens. Maybe we just do a swap? I don't know. We got options, though. I'm liking it. It's coming together. I'm gonna cry if it blows up. But I'm liking it. So yeah, back next week. Stay safe. Stay goose.